Step into Dave's dimension so wild, where chaos rules and sanity's exiled. Tech toys and gadgets fill the air. Superheroes talk without a care. In this realm of wires and might, late night sessions feel so right. Insanity's dams we all embrace. A smile found on every...
Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Should I say live stream? Welcome back again to another edition of Dimension Download, guys. It's our live YouTube hangout, guys. Now, this is a special stream. If you notice, it is Dimension Download Moving Day. Why is it Moving Day? Because for all intents and purposes, for the most part, well, the firehouse is built. It is complete. Now, what do I mean by complete? Let's just go to the firehouse cam. There we go. Nope, I don't want that. I want this one. There we go. So, as you guys can see, the firehouse, she is complete. I still have to finish up a little seams on the sides. But as you can see, we have all the floors. We have, of course, the first floor, which is basically your garage, and of course the lockers. If you notice, I 3D printed some lockers there, courtesy of files that, well, Ghostbuster Gear has on his Patreon for the firehouse. He's got a lot more expansion parts that I could go for, but I think right now I'm going to be good with this. I want to start printing some decorative pieces, furniture, a pool table, maybe a few arcade units, something to kind of fill in the firehouse. But hey, let's go ahead and say hello to everybody. We got Tony popping in the chat. He's actually at work right now. If I wasn't on set now, I'd be with you, man. I appreciate that. Telling him, hey, don't worry about the paychecks. He says, I'm trying. I feel like I'm babysitting adults more than work, though. Hey, there are worse things you could be doing. He's been there since about 8 a.m. and he's going to be there until 1 a.m. There you go. Hey, now. Hey, Master Kakilius. I love a Dave. That's my name, too. Hey, we're all Daves. These are Daves. I know. You know how it goes. We got Rogue Demon Collects. Hey, everyone. How's the volume tonight? Is it okay? Is it too loud? Let me know if I need to lower it. But, guys, I've been 3D printing this firehouse since probably about the end of December. And we finished it just in time for February. So I still need to actually glue the No Ghost logo, the sign. Right now, I just have the sign kind of pegged in right now. A lot of the parts are glued in. I loved everything in here. If I had more space, I would be doing a lot more. to be perfectly honest, I would be doing a lot more. But for right now, I mean, the firehouse, if you notice, you can see the kind of the cutoff at the top of the screen right there. You can see there is a landing pad for the ECTO-2. So I do have I have the kind of real Ghostbusters all the way at the top floor with the ECTO-2. We are going to be doing some unboxing tonight, but guys, if you're Ghostbusters fans, I do have some very nice selection that we're going to unbox. Now, this firehouse is to Kenner scale. I was not going to do a Hasbro plasma series because this would be much bigger. Okay. Now, if you notice, I have proton packs behind me. Okay. Now, this shelving right here, this is where my proton packs were previously. Let me actually do a little pan and zoom. So let me just go ahead and do this very quickly. We're going to turn off motion tracking. There we go. There we go, standard. Now, you can see how large of a space this is. This is where I had the 2 proton packs previously. And the firehouse just sneaks under there, okay? This is bigger than the original Kenner firehouse. Just for reference, I'm going to pull up something right now so you guys can actually see for scale. Now, Ghostbuster Gear, who's the one who designed the firehouse. Now you can do any colors you want. I went with the gray at the bottom with the marble white. So it actually, when you look really up close, you can actually see the specks like you would see in cement. Okay. Then I went with a nice brick material. I still have to fix the one side there, so it's not perfect. But I did that. All the parts are glued in there. You use black PLA along with it. I went with the traditional Ghostbusters cannon doors. And we have a Ghostbusters movie version of the containment unit. But just to show you guys scale, I want to see if I can pull up the right image. Where is it now? Is that the one? No, I'm going to have to click on something else here. Here we go. I think it was. Where are you? Part 1. Here we go. I think that's the one. So just to show you guys for scale, I'm going to share the screen. Excuse me. Yes, we know. Okay, here we go. So here is right off the Patreon page for Ghostbuster Gear, and I highly recommend if you're a 3D printer, you want an amazing firehouse, definitely go for it. So here we have Ghostbuster Gear's firehouse compared to the Kenner original firehouse. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. So just take a look at that for scale. Just for damn scale. It is tremendous. Everyone's saying hello to everybody else. William H. Grimsley, hello. Hey, Will, hope you're having a great night. Bill Murray is God. Yes, he is God. He might actually be God, for all that we know. Tony saying, nice, Dave. Duffman's diorama. So, yeah, Duff, if you're looking at this, the firehouse, this is what we 3D printed here. And, this is what we 3D printed. So this comparing to the original one, it's just pure insanity. Just pure insanity. Ghostbusters 2016 was awesome. Thoughts? Well, I've said this before in previous streams. I don't fault anyone for. I don't fault the actors for the movie. An actor can only do so much with what they're presented. Okay, first off, that's my main thought right there. Second, if they would have set it in a different city other than New York City, I think it would have flown off. It would have gone. However, I mean, don't get me wrong, Hemsworth was freaking hilarious in there. I mean, just the entire cast, they're all amazing. Kate McKinnon, amazing on so many levels. And Paul Feig, he is an amazing, prolific director. I mean, he's done some amazing films. It's just, I think if they would have set it in a different city somewhere, it would have taken off, and it could have coexisted within the Ghostbusters universe, the Prime universe, I should say. Excuse me, guys. So that's my thought on that. Turned out good. Yeah. Just wait. I want to show you guys a little up close. Now, I did post some pictures on my IG, but I mean, just to show you guys scale right there. I mean, there's a side view. This thing is massive. It is massive. You can throw a bunch. I'm going to 3D print some arcade units and some lab equipment and such in there, so we have stuff that's in. But there's so much more to 3D print on his Patreon. If you guys, I mean, if you're into 3D printing, I highly recommend subscribing to his Patreon. Ghostbuster Gear on Patreon. Subscribe. It's only $5 a month, but you have access to all of his files. He's got amazing collections. He's done a stand for the slime blower. He has the Extreme Ghostbusters Proton Pack. He has a real Ghostbusters Proton Pack I am highly tempted to print. He also has all the real Ghostbusters gear. He has a PKE meter. He has a belt gizmo. He has the trap. He has all that stuff with extensive details and instructions on how to do it. So it is it is amazing. So I highly recommend checking that out, guys. But yeah, I mean, take a look at this. I mean, it looks like Hook and Ladder 8. It actually says Hook and Ladder 8 in the front. We got the sign hanging right there. I was able to print the crest right on the front. Everything's 3D printed. Now, I did not permanently attach the containment unit as of yet. So that is something still as of yet has not been done. Let me actually move this over to over here. There we go. So this containment unit came out great. Now I should have, in retrospect, I could have done the white border along with some traps, and I could actually slide a trap in there. But what's great about this is actually storage. This doubles as storage for extra ghosts. Oh, that came off. But you can see there's storage here, so we can put extra accessories and ghosts in there. Show you the other side of it. So it actually looks like the containment unit would look like in the movie. So, I mean, it turned out amazing. It wasn't without its challenges. I think with every printer, and as you're developing your skills as a printer, you're going to have challenges. Not everything was 100% perfect, but I think this turned out pretty friggin' amazing. I love the flat red that I have on here. I mean, this turned out great. Slides right underneath. Let me move this out of the way. Slides right underneath the stairwell. And as you guys can see, the stairs go from the main floor to the second floor to the third floor. And we actually have a functional ladder with a hatch that opens up for roof access. So you can actually, put your figures up as if they're going up the ladder. I still have to install a pole. If you notice, there's no pole there. Now, that locker that you see down there, that's also on Ghostbuster Gear's Patreon. They open up. Since I have an AMS, I did go into Bamboo Studio, played around with some of the files to add a little black to, like, there's these little windows here. Excuse me. And on the frame, I decided to add a little bit of black to it. Now, the way he has his designs, you don't have to have an AMS unit. You can just have a regular one filament printer at a time and print each part separately, one at a time, at a time, at a time, at a time. Me, I wanted to add a little bit more detail. Excuse me. I mean, you could print solid colors and then hand print a few items to add a little bit of detail. So this is definitely, this is printer friendly. Whether you have a multi-filament system, of whether you have Bamboo or Creatality or whatever multi-system, Snapmaker, whatever you're utilizing, whether you are still single filament at a single filament print job, or if you have a multi-filament setup, you can do this. Okay. Now, if you notice, I went ham on the floor, the frigging floor of this. As you can see, there's a lot of detail, a lot of color on the floor, because I wanted to add as much detail as possible. One thing about me is I can't stop working on stuff. Anyone who is a cosplayer into Ghostbusters, into Proton Packs, hey Rex the Millennium Workshop in the chat. Excuse me. This is the master of disaster, guys. Rex is the man, the myth, the legend himself. If you guys are not following Rex and Millennium Workshop, follow his Instagram, follow his YouTube. The man just made a damn tauntaun. Okay? There's nothing that man can't make, and he makes it look so effortless. I mean, if it wasn't for him, the Flux pack that I have behind me, the Proton pack, the Back to the Future pack, it would not have turned out as well if it wasn't for all the help that Rex helps. I mean, Rex gave me so many tips. You hear Archer talking about how Rex has been giving him a lot of insight, a lot of help. Rex is like the resource, okay? Rex is the man he doesn't do the multi-filament systems. I think when he got his AMS, he just used it, to have like 4 of the same color, which works out perfectly because he does a lot of hand painting himself. A lot of airbrushing, a lot of painting to make things look amazing. So yeah, you can have an AMS unit and just have 4 of the same color in there. That way you don't have to worry about changing the spools as often. It saves a lot of time. But this firehouse has turned out great. Now, this was my first time. If I print another one in the future, there are a few choices, a few things that I will do a little bit different the next time around. Like you can see that there's like a little gap on towards the front of the firehouse right there. But I mean, for me, it's perfectly fine. This isn't for someone else. This is just a display piece for myself. And it's my first time printing any kind of a diorama type of piece. So this turned out great. Okay. Rex is saying, hey, thank you, bro, because Master called him a master. There you go. Master called him a master. Dave, you should have gone bigger. I've had numerous people say, Dave, will the Ecto HasLab fit in there? No, uh, I don't. Right now, with the way my collection is set up, I mean, like I said before Rex came in, I was saying how this space was originally where I had two proton packs, and you can see how massive this thing is. It's bigger than a proton pack, technically speaking. So I mean, if I did a firehouse that would fit or accommodate a Ecto HasLab, I mean, it's doable because I mean, you have the Kenner figures and then you have to upscale them to 6 inch. So I mean, it's doable, but man, would it be massive. Plus, I gotta upscale every single little piece. just just reprint it so you can live in it. I mean, this is Buffalo, New York. If it was viable, sure, why not? I mean, that's the next evolution of 3D printing, is it? We have 3D printed accessories, phone cases, everything else is 3D printed. People are making 3D printed footwear depending on the material you're using. I mean, next would be what? 3D printed house? Like have a big industrial 3D printer that prints out these massive bricks one at a time, maybe super fast, who knows? I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible now. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future holds? So there is that. But it's moving day. I love how the firehouse turned out. Now, like I said, it's not perfect, but it's great. It's amazing for me because as a Ghostbuster fan, now I didn't have a whole lot growing up. Like I think I had Vinkman and I had uh maybe Egon as a kid. I did not have an Ecto One. I did not have a Kenner Firehouse. So this is my, other than the Playmobil Firehouse, which technically is my wife's. This is my first firehouse ever for my figures. So this was a personal project for me. One, because I got the bigger printer. I wanted to I wanted to do something massive as in a big massive inaugural print, so to speak. Even though I've had this print for a couple months. But I finally have a firehouse all of my own, my very first firehouse, and it's one I made. I think that's something that we see Archer just popped up in the chat. By the way, if anyone wants to join the stream, the link is pinned to the top of the chat, so feel free to jump in. But I think do do I believe in ghosts? Yes, I do. I've had experiences. I'm not a ghost hunter, but I've had my own experiences when I was a teenager. And there's that. I've talked about it before. Cassandra the ghost from the roller rink. That's a whole other story. Excuse me, guys. But what about everyone else in the chat? Do you believe in ghosts? I'm curious. Let me know. But suffice this to say, this is my first time printing any kind of a diorama. This is my first. I have a firehouse now, and I want it to look as much like Hook and Ladder 8 as possible. Now, fortunately, Ghostbuster Gear designed it so that it does say, Hook and Ladder 8 on it. It has these round circles with the stars on them, just like the actual firehouse does. Since I've been to Hook and Ladder 8 numerous times, I printed the side door instead of black like he has in the picture. I actually printed it red like it is in real life. I might do a few more things to kind of make it look more realistic. We'll see. But I think it's something when you print something for yourselves. Maybe something you always wanted to have. And when you're printing it, and when you're done, there's a little bit of pride, you know. At one point, I think I told Archer and a few other people, I was actually considering scrapping this and starting completely all over again. But a friend of mine, good friend, said, Dave, you're a damn perfectionist. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm always saying there are no mistakes, you know. Everything is weathering, you know. So if something's a little lopsided, it's not like I'm printing this as a job for someone else. This was something for me, you know. So that's the thing. It's like, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's why I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm happy with how it is. And I think it turned out really great. I will try and rotate it around just so you guys can get a. I mean, you can see the little gap right here. I'm going to try and see if I can fix that at a later point in time. But I mean, it's fantastic. I really love this. Now, there is a Etsy shop that does blueprints very much similar to the style of blueprint that you see right behind the Playmobil right there where you see the ghost trap. Those are the blueprints from the Tuna Box HasLab. But there's someone that sells these blueprints, and there's a blueprint of Hook and Ladder 8, the Firehouse. So I think I might actually order that print and have it kind of like in the background somewhere. But I might actually now, if you notice, I have a few scuff marks on the interior of the Firehouse. Right now, I am planning to possibly print some posters, shrink them down. I do want to do some arcade units, and obviously, I want to try and print some graphics to put on the side, which I've never really done anything like that. So that's going to be a learning experience right there. We can take that logo off. What? What logo? Looks good. We can take that logo off. Are you referring to the sign on the? I'm not sure. I'm getting lost right now. Just happy accents, yeah. Just happy accents. But guys, it's moving day for the Firehouse. Now, I'm gonna try and keep the stream. We're aiming to not go past 10 or 10:15 because at about 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, 7:15 Pacific, Generation X pod or the Generation X Wing podcast, they go live, and I think they're doing some reviews of some previous Ghostbuster videos. And so go ahead and check out Jamie, Hose Nose, and the rest of the gang there. But that's later on this evening. Master says, my dad is really into 3D printing. I mean, 3D printing, here's the thing. I have two printers now, both bamboo. I have the P1S and I have the H2S. H2S because so I can do larger prints. I think my next big print is I'm going to try and see how large of a mini puff I can print in this Firehouse, or not in the Firehouse, but how big of a mini puff or Stay Puff can I print in the H2S? I think that's going to be my next project. Archer, what do you think about that? The largest mini puff I can possibly print in the H2S. Give me a thumbs up if you think I should. And by the way, guys, if anyone in the chat hanging out, if anyone wants to join the stream, the link is in the chat. It's pinned up to the chat. So if you feel like joining us, go ahead and do so. But I think it's time we started moving into the Firehouse. Now, what do I have moving into the Firehouse? Obviously, I have the Kenner Ghostbusters all the way at the top. But what else? What else is moving in? What do you guys think is going to be moving into the Firehouse? Tony says, woo. The print time will be crazy. Will it? Will it? I mean, Archer, this is me. Will it be crazy? I mean, one, we have to see what scale can I make the mini puffs, because the mini puffs are usually like this scale, you know. And then I have done the largest one. Now this is one of the this is the largest one I've done in the P1S. Okay, for scope, pretty good size, right? So imagine what I can do in the H2S. So, and this one is, I think this was this a defect? I don't think he is a defect. No, it was a little slight defect. But I usually print these for the group that I'm part of. We started to do these. We do the regular mini puffs as prizes for games, which is nice and fun. This one, it was a little rough. You can see, if you look really close, you can see some of the print lines on here. There's a little bit of damage right here at the top of the hat, but I was pushing the ceiling inside doing it in a P1S. To print one of these in a P1S, it does take a good while, maybe about 10 hours. But with the H2S, that would be interesting. We're going to look at that in a different stream, but we're not going to do it in this stream. So what do you guys think is going to be moving into the firehouse? Print him in sections and glue him together. Well, that is an idea, but I like to try and minimize doing that if I can help it. I mean, yeah, I could slice him in half, right? But then you have to perfectly line him up perfect, and then we're gonna have to do some sanding and then try and blend the white perfectly together. I'm sure it can be done, but you kind of have to match up the white, and then the white might look off from the rest of the mini puff. So that's part of my conundrum right there. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't care the color, I could definitely print him in a different color, do them in sections, and try to blend and sand everything together. And then I'd have to, hand paint it. And that would be like the biggest one ever. That takes time, obvious. I'm curious to see how big. Well, you know what? You guys asked for it. You're going to get it. Let's go ahead, or I'm going to warm up Bamboo Studio. Now, what I'm going to be moving in to the firehouse is, well, I never opened up my Fright Features. So I have these. I also have the ECTO-Glow figures yet to open up. They're still in their card backs. And I mean, what's a firehouse without a brand new spanking Ecto one? And that's another thing. Ghostbusters gear, he has add-ons. You can do Egon's Lab. You can add extra units for gear. And he even has a roof rack for A1. Or should I say 1A? So there is a lot we can do. And by the way, Archer went to Fan Expo Boston, I believe it was, and one of the local Ghostbuster groups there, they actually did a 3D version of the Fright Feature equipment. That would be a nice fun build too. Archer, why don't you print one of those? You're flexing, Dave. I love it. How am I flexing? I'm not flexing. You're flexing. Mister, I would join you, but I'm on set right now. It's all good in the hood, man. Okay, let's click on one of the mini puffs. Okay, here we go. We're booting it up right now. Okay, let's bring the screen back on. Okay, so this is the typical plate when I am 3D printing a batch of mini puffs. This is a P1S plate, okay? Just to give you guys reference. So, okay, this is the regular size, okay? This is what they usually are printed at, and then I print the ribbons separately. It does take longer because of the filament color change. So I do print them. I don't have to paint anything at all. I'm lazy like that. A firehouse without an Ecto one is just a firehouse. Exactly, Duff. And speaking of which, Duffman actually made my first firehouse dial piece he made this amazing one, which I still have over on the shelf. Right now, the Playmobil Firehouse is sitting right in front of it. But I had that as a centerpiece of my Ghostbuster collection for a long time, and it's still one of my most favorite pieces because he did everything by hand, cutting and carving in foam. The man made everything from scratch. Just if you guys aren't following diorama pieces, if you're a fan of dios, especially handcrafted, go ahead and check out Duffman's Diorama on Instagram. Seriously, you'll be amazed. Did I watch the Real Ghostbusters show? Yes, and I still have them on DVD, and I still watch them every now and again. I love the Real Ghostbusters, and I did also enjoy Extreme Ghostbusters, and also I did also enjoy the Funimation Ghostbusters as well, or was Funimation or Filmation, one of the two. You guys know which one I'm talking about. So let's just go ahead. We're going to maximize this. So I'm going to put the firehouse away for now, and we're just going to make this. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to add a plate, and we're just going to take one of the mini puffs right here. Now, we are going to take this and make it H2S size. That's how much of a difference. Like if we, okay, see this right here? Okay. P1S, everything's nice and crowded, right? H2S, we got space. So now let's go here. We're going to select this one. And now let's make it grow. Now, I know I'm going to hit the ceiling when there's a little bit of a shading that appears at the top of the object. So we can keep increasing. Jesus. Okay. So you see right there? See where there's like a little dark shading gray at the top? That's the roof right there. So right now, that sucker is massive. That is holy. That is 207.28%. Hey, we got Vern. Who's roasting? Hey, we got the marshmallows. If you got the fire. Everyone's saying hello to Vern. So yeah, if we did one, now let me see if I can. Do I have the save file for the enlarged one? I think I do. Okay, no, that's not what I want. Bring that back up. There we go. Okay, Mega Puff. There we go. So I'm going to add another plate, and let me throw Mega Puff in there. Okay, so the Mega Puffs, I'm just going to grab this one. Move this over here. So just to show you guys. Okay, this is the. There you go. You guys wanted the answer. Here's the original one that I print as a prize, right? You see the small one at the bottom right there, right? See that, right? So that's the original one. This is the mega one I printed last year. So here is the bigger one. So that is a massive, massive difference. There you go, guys. There you go. How do you like that? Make him 4 feet tall. Oh, my wife would still be taller than him technically, but yeah. Ate you a god? Am I a god or did I eat a god? Who knows? That's up to debates. But yeah, make him 4 feet tall. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, hypothetically, I mean, I could make it even bigger. You know, I mean, that is something that can be done. There you go. I mean, but what do you guys think about that? From the P1S to the H2S, that's a pretty big difference from the H2S or the P1S rather to the H2S. So, yeah, it's a big difference. And just for Archer, I think Archer or somebody was saying, "Oh, that's going to take a long time." Let me actually, we're gonna slice this and see what the time would be on him. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make sure he has supports. Tree default. Yep, that should be good. So we're gonna go ahead and hit slice. Make him so big you can only print one leg at a time. Okay. Now I am using a lot of video, a lot of graphics card power, so we'll see if the sometimes Bamboo Lab will crash like it just did. Because I'm already doing, I have 2 cameras connected right now, and I'm streaming right now, so that was too much for Bamboo Labs because we already had a lot of files opened up there. So I'm guessing the regular ones are about, maybe the small ones, I can do a whole batch of them, maybe at about 10 to 11 hours. One massive one is probably going to be about 10 to 12 hours for one. So that bigger one's probably going to be about maybe 15 to 16 hours, depending on depending on the speed. Okay, I'm going to have to work on that later, so we won't do that right now. But I'm afraid the computer might crash. So let me just close. Let me see if I can close out Bamboo Labs without the computer going down. Yeah, we're going to do that right now. Let me see here. Okay, we're just going to close it. There we go. So, Vern, if you're still in the chat, there's the original Kenner firehouse, and this is the firehouse I built. Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy, kind of insane. So there we go. The firehouse. I mean, it's like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but I'm going to do some decorating in there to kind of like cover up some of the blemishes, but also to have a little bit of fun with everything. But this was an amazingly fun build, guys. Vern saying hello to Rex, saying hello to Tony. Everyone saying hello to everybody else. We love that. And yeah, of course, Stuffman wants me to print it so big that only one leg at a time can be printed. But let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to start unboxing some figures. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what do you guys want to see me unbox first? Do you want to see the ECTO-Glow figures, or do you want the Fright Feature figures open up first? Let me know. What Vern wants to know where he is. He's in the Dave's Dimension download. And by the way, guys, if anyone wants to join the stream, again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. So yeah, let me grab the locker very quickly. Where's his? Oh, where his firehouse is? Hey. So this was, I will say this was a fun build. Even the lockers, I knocked this out last night. Only took a couple hours. Let me stop the auto tracking. These came out pretty good. And yeah, you can use this for storage, which is fun. We can throw proton packs or just about anything in there. What is that building? Where do you get one, and how much is shipping? Well, unfortunately, I will not be. This is not my original design, so it's not mine to sell. Now, this is something that obviously this is through the Patreon on, or this is Ghostbuster gear on Patreon. He designs a whole plethora of anything Ghostbusters you can imagine. Like it shows right there, guys. See, I told you. my ec- my ecto is parked outside and needs a firehouse to park in it, right? So he hasn't. This is the slime blower is actually a Q-Pack slime blower, which I would I definitely have an interest in possibly pursuing at some point in time in the future, but just not now. He just came up with the stand for it, but he has a whole let's just review some of his collection. So he's got the stand for the slime blower. He has a 1-to-1 scale ecto containment unit that you can 3D print. This is a full size containment unit that you can print yourself, and then you can of course put electronics in there. So as you can see, he kind of has like an outline. One, two, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pieces for the frame, not counting this piece here, the lever, of course, and some of the face plates. That's just for that, and then you have the back piece. So I mean, like this, I mean, I've had a few people say, "Hey, are you going to print that?" I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put that. Although I think this would be fun as a laundry chute in somebody's house. you know, I could send a box. You can put that in, and I will put a shelf, put a self address label on the box. Yeah, gonna need a lot of packing paper for a lot of packing bubble wrap and stuff for that. But this was a fun build. Took me about maybe about a month and a half, maybe just under a month and a half. I did have a few mistakes that I had to reprint. So I can probably print one in about a month's time. But like I said, this is not something that I am selling or anything myself, because these files were designed by Ghostbuster Gear himself. Um, I mean, if it was something I was gifting to someone, yeah, that would be a different story. But if someone actually wanted one like printed and sold, that's not something I would touch. I believe in because unfortunately with 3D printing in the 2 years I've been involved with it, I've seen a lot of people take other people's files and profit off of them without giving proper recompense. Recompense. You know, uh, I could see myself printing another one, but I probably won't be doing that. Probably not until maybe next winter. Because one, I'll say this: this is a fun winter project to do. When you're cooped up, you can't really go outside. Blizzard weather here in Buffalo. Uh, I learned a lot printing this one, so that I know when the next one I print, I can, you know, save myself some of the headaches that I came across. And I definitely have. I think I mentally have a different approach for printing the parts, at least for what I did, because I did have a few mistakes, a few hits and misses on here. But I mean, this is pretty awesome. Don't see HasLab uh, doing a HasLab firehouse anytime soon, and that's one thing a lot of people always wanted was they wanted a lot of people wanted Hasbro to like do a reissue. You did reissue Ecto one, you reissued all the Kenner figures. You reissued the ECTO-Glow figures. Why not a Kenner Firehouse? Because it's something that people have been wanting. But hey, it is what it is. You have a printer. Oh, then hey, listen. Ghostbuster Gear is only $5 to subscribe to his Patreon. It's only $5 because this seems like the files are in a computer situation. I don't think you can sell the STL files, but yeah, but the firehouse definitely. That's something. See, that's something like there's been a few people I've reached out to personally for like some of the stuff I 3D printed for my team. Um, I have before even doing anything, I've reached out to the original designers, asking them, "Hey, do you have a license? Is there a license I can sell in case I want to print these? And because I want to, either sell these or give these out as prizes for a 501c3 charity that I'm part of." And usually they will say, "Oh, it's for charity, sure," or "Hey, the license will be this X amount of dollars." That's I just like I don't know. I feel kind of funny about it. I think I'm still so green in the 3D printing game that I'm just kind of nervous when it comes to that. I think that's not necessarily nervous, but respectful in a way. But hey, everyone's got their thoughts and opinions. So yeah, they have the containment unit. There is a real Ghostbusters proton pack, which I've talked to Archer about. you know, there's also Master Kaikilius. If you're still in the chat, you asked about the 2016. He has the ghost traps here. He has the real Ghostbusters. He has the movie canon ghost trap, and he also has the 2016 ghost trap, which you can actually 3D print, and even the body parts for an RTV remote control ghost trap. So he's got all the files here, man. I mean, if you're a Ghostbuster fan, there's just so much you can do here. I mean, with the firehouse itself, not only does he have the firehouse, he has Egon's lab that you can 3D print, the lockers, and there's even more stuff to 3D print on here. He has extras for the Ecto-1. You have, if you wanted to do Ghostbusters the video game pack up upgrades, you could do that. You want to do upgrades for the life-size Spirit Halloween proton pack. He's got that right there. He's got the roof rack if you want to do Kenner Ecto-1 as a Ecto-1A. He's got replacement for the gunner seat. He's got, if you want to do Extreme Ghostbusters proton pack, you can do that. He's got extras for the Kenner Firehouse. He's got the slime blower. He even has a rack for the proton packs for the Ecto-1. He's got everything in here. I mean, there's no short supply. And you can also follow him on Instagram, which I highly recommend. But he also has the RGB containment unit, which even though I have a containment unit for this firehouse, I think this would be a cool separate piece to have all onto itself. And could you imagine if you did like a little smoke kit somewhere in the back? I think that would be kind of sick if you had like a little containment unit, a little like smoke coming out of it. I mean, it's definitely worthwhile. For $5 a month, you get access to all his files. It's kind of a no-brainer if you ask me. But the roof rack looks amazing. Everything looks great. So, but yeah, I highly recommend checking that out, guys. Let's see, catch up on chat. Looks like we are caught up on chat. But yeah, this is a nice little fun piece, and there's a little space up here. So if you wanted to throw some extras up there, you could. But I liked how this really turned out. So we're going to start opening up some of these. I'm going to move the camera over. Okay. Come on. That's that one I wanted. Off my face. There we go. Okay, there we go. And we'll remove the message. There we go. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. There you go. We lost the camera. Good job. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Let me know. I gotta fix this camera. Technology is great when it works. There we go. Hey. Let's see if we can move this over to the side. There you go. There we go. Technology is great when it works. So, Do, 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 do. Open up Venkman. There we go. Just busted open. I'm not trying to save the cardboard. There you go. Got our little Fright Features. That's awesome. Now, of course, these do not have the pegs in the back, so you can't do a little swap with the proton packs. It's just not something we can do. But we can throw his see if we can get that to peg on there just right. There we go. Oh, ghosts are not staying on around his neck. Now, let me see if my pegs or my peg stands are going to work on these smaller scale. Might fit on one, but not both legs at the same time, I don't imagine. Or I may have to print something a little... No, they work. There we go. These are 6-inch figure stands that I get on Amazon, but they work just the same for the Kenner Fright Features and the Kenner figures. There we go. Ghost making him a little top heavy, so I'm going to bend his back just a little bit. There we go. We got Peter down. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me now. Just let me know. I don't, the stream should still be running. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Master Kakelia says yes, thank you. For some reason, Talk Studio was giving me an alert that there was nobody watching right now. Here we got Ray with his ghost. Oh, don't want to lose that one. I really do wish they would do Janine. There we go. Love these. Let's see if we can get Ray's Ghost Grabber. There we go. I wish we could play some music. I know that's something that StreamYard does, but I don't feel like paying $50 a month. Sorry, I just don't. So we got Ray. Let's go ahead and free Winston. Sounds like a bad movie. Free Winston. Should I be using a pocket knife for this? Probably not, but hey, oh well. Two friggin' late gays. By the way, for those who are in the chat, I know we only have like a few people hanging out right now, and anyone who might be watching Replay Squad, Stream for the Cure is happening again this year. And my MasterCard Kelius and Tony, you might not be familiar with it. For the past several years, I have been doing a live stream, usually around the end of April, early May, to raise money for Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. It's a cancer center here in the Buffalo, New York area, and they're one of the leading cancer research and treatment centers in the country. Now, my wife and I participate in what's known as the Ride for Roswell, which is a bike riding fundraising initiative to raise money for cancer research and development of new treatments. So every year I do Stream for the Cure, where I do one massive stream. One of the first years, I think we did 8 hours. We've done a couple 10-hour and 12-hour streams. And last year, because it was the 30th anniversary of Ride for Roswell, I actually did over 24 hours last year. I am not planning to do 24 hours this year necessarily. There you go. Little spinning head action. So this year, last year I was still a part of the toy community. And unfortunately, this year that's not really a thing anymore. There's a lot of shifts in collecting. And honestly, as far as followers and everything like that, I wasn't really a part of the toy community anymore. So we can put the ghost right on top of his head. Still spinning around. There you go. But like with the toy community, it really didn't feel like I was a part of it anymore. So I've kind of been distanced from the toy community. I still pop in a lot of the streams, mind you. And there's been a lot of division in the toy community the past 2 or 3 years too. So that's another factor. So, whoa. Well, you just lost one stick. There we go. So this year, I'm playing around with the idea of not doing necessarily toys, but doing 3D printing projects as prizes. And I kind of want to know what you guys think about that. I'm thinking now, in previous streams, me and Archer have talked about these 3D printing these 3D printed lightsabers we've done, where you can actually disassemble them and whatnot. And I think those would be some nice, fun prizes to give away. Maybe some mystery ones, and maybe we actually ship them unassembled so that the winner can assemble them themselves. Just a little idea I'm playing around with to see if it's something that's viable. Yes, I do agree. Cancer does suck. Lost a lot of people due to cancer. Some people will, embrace the cancer and fight and try and beat it. And others, sometimes they hide it. Sadly, that happened within my own family. My mom had skin cancer. She went for treatments. That's not what she passed away from. But we found out when my dad passed that he was hiding cancer from us. So that was not the greatest kind of thing. But Stream for the Cure is still going to happen this year. I don't know what shape it's going to take, but I would also like any of you who are watching this either live or on replay to consider supporting Stream for the Cure. Now, the previous years, what we've done is if you want to be a part of the giveaways, you donate to Stream for the Cure, or I shouldn't say Stream for the Cure, but you donate to Ride for Roswell, and I'll have a link where you go directly to the Ride for Roswell page. In fact, let me just share that. I don't have my donation set up because I'm still waiting for my work to create a team this year. But here's the Ride for Roswell page. You can see Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. Last year was the 30th year. Largest cycling fundraising events. I mean, it is a massive event. And also, you can check out some of my previous bike rides because I've recorded a few Ride for Roswell videos where I actually brought you guys along with me. So I've done the Canada route a few years, but they did not bring that back this year. They have the family route. They have a 10 mile, 20 mile, 30 mile. I've done the 30. I've done the 20. There's a 44-mile Niagara Falls route, but they do have a thing where they want you to at least raise $750. And then there's also a 34-mile country route. And I'm also considering that one as well. I think last year, did I do the 45? I think I might have done the 45 country. So there's that. They have the 100. I'm not doing 100 because the anything that's around 45 miles, you're starting at about 6:40 in the morning, and it does take you. Let me actually pull up the Niagara Falls route. This is a new one that they just decided to bring up this year. Oh, it's not showing. Let me fix this. It's not showing what I'm showing you guys right now. So let's fix this. Let's go ahead and fix this very quickly. Share screen. I understand. I want the entire screen. There we go. There we go. So this is the now this we would be leaving from University of Buffalo, which is the kickoff point for all the Ride for Roswell rides. However, previous years, if I did the Canada route, I would start from let's see here. I think it was right around here is where the actual Ride for Roswell Center is located. And we would ride this way along to the Peace Bridge over into Canada. And then you're basically riding along up to here, then crossing the border, and then riding your way back. But now they're doing a Niagara Falls, USA route, I think to avoid any kind of headaches that they might be causing with border crossings. And who knows, maybe politics are involved. Who knows? So I would be leaving from here. 44.42 miles. There's several rest stops. There's one right here. They do have rest stops, so you can stop. You can get some Powerade, maybe your peanut butter jelly sandwich, bananas, nuts. They have all kinds of snacks for you. So basically, I would be riding alongside the Niagara River. Let me see if I can zoom back out. And basically, it goes alongside here and then back up all the way up to Niagara Falls to Goat Island. Yes, it's actually called Goat Island. And then back again, and then all the way back, and back, and back, and back, and back, and back, and back. So the funny thing is, though, if I wasn't feeling well or if I just didn't want to ride all the way back, this is where I live. So this is actually where I live. I live in Grand Island. So hypothetically, I could actually detour and just ride over the bridge and then back home. It would actually be shorter distance than riding all the way back to Roswell. But no, I will be completing the entire route because, well, my wife is going to be doing, I think, the 20 mile this year. I think that's what she's aiming for with her job. She's been doing it, 10 years or so. I started just being her bike mechanic, and then I joined. And that was along the time I started to do my weight loss journey too. So, but we don't do the same route because, well, unfortunately, I just have way too much energy when I'm bike riding. And technically, she cannot keep up with my speed. And that was before I had an e-bike. There you go. We got Master Hercules. His mom died in 2010, and she had the illness. Yeah, it's it's. I mean, the only thing you can say is it sucks. It really does. I mean, my dad was a Vietnam vet. He was also a vet of Desert Storm, and he lost a lot of people. He was like one of the last people. I think he was the last person from his platoon from Vietnam. So I mean, for him, it was just I think he was just kind of done. My mom had been gone for a number of years because yeah, I think it was part of that. It was just kind of like he just was kind of he was tired of fighting. I think that's the case for a lot of people. Now, here's the question with Egon. Let me move this here. Yeah, let me see. We're gonna hide that. There we go. Make that big. Let's see if this tie lasts longer than the originals. Because if you had an original one, you remember his tie would break off very easy. So that's gonna be. It looks like a thinner tie too, thinner and kind of shorter. It looks like I could be wrong, but I love the suit. I actually wish that they would do the uh, heavy suit that Egon wore when he went into the containment unit. I would love to have that figure. Yeah, I mean, the ride for Roswell is a good ride, and it hits you. It definitely hits you in the feels because one of the things that they always do is before each route, when everyone's lined up at the starting, it's not a race, but there's a start line and a finish line. Okay. One thing that they do is they start to read off how much money they raised last year, how much they're projecting to raise this year, how many people that they've helped, how many new treatments, new vaccines that they've been developing. Okay, so they go over all that, and then they ask for everyone who is currently fighting cancer to raise their hand, and everyone who has defeated cancer to raise their hand. How many people are survivors? And when I first started the ride, I figured like, oh, maybe I'll say like maybe 10 or so people, right? Wrong. It's more like 40 or 50. And that's one of the things that really hits you because when everyone around you, they're cancer survivors or their families of cancer survivors that are out there supporting them as a ride, it's something that hits you like there's no way to explain it. That's why me and my wife keep doing it every year. My wife she's lost a lot of people in her family. I've known a lot of people who've passed away from cancer. I have a family member is who has cancer and she is battling it. Thanks to the type of medications and treatments they've developed at Roswell, she's had this for a couple of years now, and thankfully she's living her life. She's, I guess, functional. I guess you could say, and it's just something that is it takes you to a place like you just kind of you don't realize like people hear me say when I'm promoting Stream for the Cure, I'm always saying every nickel, every dime, every dollar makes a world of difference. And it does. You know, this little stream, we might raise maybe 1,500, maybe $1,800. But that's $1,800 that may be going towards Ride for Roswell. Listen, if we only raise $200 this year, then that's $200 we raise for cancer. Okay. Would I like to raise as much as we possibly can? Hell yes. But ultimately, it depends on, these are trying times. Things are not cheap. You have families who are trying to afford groceries, rent, paying, just buying clothes for their children. Things are not cheap. They're not easy right now. So it's not so cut and dry. That's the thing. It's not so easy. So a lot of times, it's hard for people to kind of scrap money together, and usually Stream for the Cure, I think we were doing $10 an entry. One $10 donation gets your name entered in on every wheel that we do because we do it elimination wheel style. Last person standing is going to be the person who wins the box. And I think this year we're going to do some mystery boxes. I think I'm aiming to potentially print maybe some Marvel props and also some Star Wars props and maybe a few other, maybe some DC props to throw in the mix, you know? So that's what I'm kind of aiming to do. So for the next, couple months, I'm going to be 3D printing on both printers, uh, 3D printing props and items that are going to be mystery boxes. And the person who gets the box, they won't know what they're actually going to get. They might know like, oh, it's going to be a Marvel, or this is DC, or this is a Star Wars item, or who knows? Maybe there's even going to be a Star Trek item. Who knows? I'm going to wait and see. Maybe there's going to be some wrestling items. You know, maybe I'm going to 3D print a wrestling ring and some tables and chairs and some other stuff. We might have a bunch of fun stuff that we do. But ultimately, this is going to be it's going to be something different because, unfortunately, the toy community is a little fractured right now. I guess is one way of putting it. It's I hate to say it, and I'm still friends, and I follow a lot of people in the toy community still. Vern and his crew at Toy Duo every Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and check them out. Oz in the Clubhouse every Saturday night around 10:15, 10:30 ish. So go ahead and check them out. Of course, Hey Archer, Nerd Affiliated, every Thursday night at 8:15-ish p.m. Eastern. He usually does a gambit of entertainment news, movies, TV shows, and also talking collectibles and also props as of lately. So, there's a lot of people you can still check out without politics, without, any kind of one-sided talk, I guess. But I really love these, and I waited a long time. I waited to have a firehouse before I was going to open these guys up. Rogue Demon says F cancer. He had a classmate in middle school died of brain cancer. His uncle passed from cancer. I'm sorry, Mega. See, that's the thing. I always say cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're young, old, whether you're perfectly fit or maybe not so much. It just doesn't care. It hits everyone. And everyone has been affected by cancer in one shape or another. Either you've lost a loved one, you've known someone who's lost a loved one, or you yourself might be someone who's surviving it. So, a lot of people out there have always supported Stream for the Cure, and I hope a lot more people are going to continue to do so. But this year is going to be a little bit different, and we're going to roll with the punches. And I really think with the printers, and hopefully I have put out on IG, on Instagram, that if anyone out there wants to partner, they want to collaborate, they want to help me co-host the stream, I am welcoming anyone and everyone. All you have to do is just message me on Instagram at Daves_Dimension. Or if you don't have Instagram, you can also email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. Now that we have the Fright Features open, I think we're gonna set them up on a shelf. We're gonna put them in the firehouse. I think for right now, have them on a few scattered shelves. Again, I am planning on printing more stuff to put inside there. Like I said, maybe some furniture, maybe a couch, a pool table, some arcade units. Who knows? Now, I think we're actually going to open up the ECTO-1. Yeah, it looks like there might be some other streams going on. I'm guessing that's where everyone else went. That's perfectly fine. There's a lot of entertainment out there on YouTube. Or, maybe people have family stuff going on. I know Vern is on the West Coast. Now, here is the gunner chair. And I might actually print the new one, because Ghostbuster Gear has one This is going to be an interesting one. Give me a second, guys. There we go. So we have the gunner chair. We also have some stickers, some decals. Now, here's the thing. I could put these on, or I could go to one of my favorite Etsy shops. I love how clean, brand new this looks. Now, let me ask you guys, do you think I should take this apart and chrome, maybe do some silver paint on the front and on the rear? That's one thing I have thought about. Of course, we got the claw just like you have in the other one. Now, what I'm seriously thinking of is, we get these little inexpensive stickers, and they came a little bent. They're okay. They have like the little black lining right there. Or let's bring the share screen back up. We're going to type in Moby Signs. Moby Signs is definitely your end all be all good source for Ghostbuster decals, because he does everything. He does decals for your gear. If you want to 3D print your own little mini rad, you can, he can get you a label. Ghost traps, even the popcorn ghost traps, he has labels for them. For all the toys, everything you could think of, he has labels for. The HasLabs, everything. The spirit goggles, he's got you covered. He's got everything. Anything Ghostbuster related you can think of a label for, he's got you covered. Now here is the Ecto-1A, or just the regular Ecto-1. Now take a look at, okay, this is what they give you here, right? So we get two, these are like the door logos here with a little black shading right there. I'm not too crazy about that. And then you get a smaller one, which I think is the rear door, right? And then you get the window, and you get two license plates right there. That's it. Now, what does he give you? You get one of each in case one comes off, you have an extra. You get the rear window, and you get 1, 2, 3. But take a look at these. I think these look better. I think that looks better than these. I really do. Personal preference. Plus, he gives you Slimer and some slimes. Now you can actually put those slimes on the windows, and you can have Slimer sticking his head out one of the rear windows, which is pretty cool. So I think I'm going to order myself that, and that's set. What is Moby? What do you have these for? $9.25. Vinyl or clear? Now the clear is so that like the slime stuff looks very translucent, where it's transparent. Okay, so there's that. And come on, that's nothing. $9.25. That's nothing. Let me see. Do we have any? Okay, $5 to ship. Still, that's nothing. You're still coming around $15. So it is not bad at all. Like I said, he's got everything. You have a roof rack. You want labels for that. You want a stroller or wheelchair custom labels. He got you covered. Moby Signs has you covered. If there's anything you're looking to have made, even if it's something that he does not have, he is always willing to hear you. Okay. He makes some very metallic looking ones. You want weathered stuff. You want stuff that looks really weathered, or you want stuff that looks brand new. he's got labels for anything and everything Ghostbuster related. So I definitely say go ahead and check it out. Let's see. Yep, Moby stuff is so good. I have it on my HasLabs. Mega says do it. Moby stuff is good, totally worth it, even shipping to Canada. Now, see, what I was thinking of doing was I could unscrew everything and take this off, right? Take off the bottom and actually hit it with silver or even some chrome paint. Now, full disclosure, I have done that with the Playmobil Ectos, and I had fun doing those. But with the roof rack, or I shouldn't say roof rack, but the gunner chair. Now, this does come with its own ghost. Okay. Little howler of a ghost right there. And we got this little gunner chair right here. Okay. Big blaster, mini blaster right here. Your guy just kind of like sits right there. We got a little strap. Bob's your uncle, right? So you can just pop this right on. And there you go. Now, Moby, or I shouldn't say Moby, but Ghostbuster Gear does have a roof rack, but it looks more like a proton pack. It looks almost like the gunner chair from let's see, is this the one? Here you go. So they have an afterlife inspired gunner seat upgrade for the Kenner Ecto 1. This is all 3D printed. And I think the particle stream, I think this might actually be it's probably going to be translucent red, which I've been meaning to get. So I mean that is something to do. If you notice, this looks just like a proton pack. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe with playing with the my AMS, I could add some color to this, make it really pop. But I mean, that's something you could easily do right here. And I think this looks fantastic. So that's definitely something I'm probably going to play with sometime soon. I might even do that this week. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah. So we got our Ecto. Now, obviously, with the roof, with this seat, is it still going to fit through? No, I'm going to have to take this off. Now, unfortunately, that just slides right off. Now, you can, if you're a little creative, do some painting here, add some, some colors, some touch-ups. It's a little something you can do. I have seen people actually take these completely down, take them apart, and actually put lights inside. I don't think I'm going to be doing that, though. But does this fit? With room to spare. Now, one idea was if I do get my hands on the ECTO-Glow Ecto 1, I could have both. I mean, we do have room to fit 2 Ectos in there if I really wanted to. Now, I do have an original Kenner Ecto that is tricked out with a different roof rack. It is starting to turn yellow, but it's an original one that was restored, but now the yellow is starting to come back. So, Firehouse looks so good with the figures in it now. Yeah, like I said, I want to add more stuff to kind of decorate the interior to really make it look more lived in and more Ghostbuster-esque. So there's a lot more I want to do. Of course, we got the ghost for the. I'm just gonna throw the ghost right into the. Right inside the containment unit. Like he should be, And what I like is we got this storage space right here. Let me see if I can move the. So we have the storage space right here, right? Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Let me do that. Okay, so we have the ghost right here. So we can actually move him out of this little spot. And this, I love that there's so much storage in here. It's not even funny. So what we can do is we can pull this out. And we can actually have him behind bars, so to speak. So that's something fun to do. There we go. Now, I could have glued this into the track, but I didn't want to do that. So that I can like take it apart and stuff. But I love this containment unit. Adds to the playability for sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, you know? But like, I just think that these labels could have been better. I get that these were probably exactly how the labels were for the original. Again, I didn't have an Ecto-1 when I was a kid. I had to wait to be an adult to get that. Whoa. Winston went flying, so I gotta fix him up. Hey, it's Allison, the retro toy princess. Hey, Allison, how you doing today? I had to go build myself a firehouse, you know. Just 3D print myself one, you know how it goes. And I decided to open up some Kenner figures, or Kenner reissue, I should say, courtesy of Hasbro figures, you know. Hope you're doing good. And by the way, Dre and I are trying to plan a time to have you back on the Outer Dimension podcast, because we definitely want to talk some more shows. Oh, we got Kenzo. Kenzo Creations. Yeah, Tony says he'll be right back. Okay. Kenzo's saying evening all. Kenzo, you probably have a stream starting very soon, I'm guessing, since you're online. I'm going to be wrapping this up around 10 o'clock because I plan to hop over into the chat on the Generation X-Wing podcast. They like to do some recaps on Ghostbusters. They're doing a rewatch on some of the figures, or some of the episodes, I should say. But what do you think of the Firehouse? Is this thing insane or what? Let me switch my camera back to full screen. So that's how friggin' massive this thing is. Just for scale. This is the 3D printed Firehouse. It is insane. Yes, I do have a helipad up there for the Ecto-2. And I do have the RGB Ghostbusters all the way at the rooftop. There. And I still have the ECTO-Glow figures to open up. I don't know if I'm going to have time to open those up tonight. Maybe I'll do a separate stream for the ECTO-Glow figures. I still have them in box. So maybe I'll save those for another stream. But I just opened up a Hasbro reissue Ecto-1 I got when they first popped out. So that's the first time I'm opening it up. I don't think I'm going to use these decals. I'm going to go to a company on Etsy called Moby Signs and get some fresh decals for them. But I'm thinking of actually taking that Ecto-1 apart and doing some modifying to it, if you will. Allison says, "I see that. Yeah, I kind of went crazy for the past month or so, 3D printing a Firehouse. Who knows? Maybe there's me printing a castle in the future. Who knows? We'll see. Could you imagine if I was able to 3D print Gray Skull? that would be uh, that would be nuts. I don't know. I gotta find a space for that, but it's got room for two Ecto ones in there. Believe it or not, we have the RGB figures all the way at the top, Fright Features on the third and second floor, and I still got plenty of room for the ECTO-Glow figures. But I also want to put lighting in that firehouse. So what do you guys think about that? Things are coming over here schedule wise, so we definitely should be able to make that happen. Awesome. Kenzo's like, I had to cancel tonight. I was in the Springs for doc appointments. Firehouse looks awesome. Thank you, man. I mean, it's not perfect. Excuse me. It definitely has a few flaws, but this is my first time 3D printing a building, 3D printing any kind of a play set or a diorama, if you will. So, but I think it turned out pretty damn awesome. Definitely, if I print a new one in the future, which I might do in a year or so, I know I made mistakes on this one, and I know how to avoid them now, and I have some better ideas on how for this to come out even better. So, with everything you learn. I don't need to tell you that. I mean, with all the amazing mods and uh, the mashups and the figures that you work with, I don't need to tell you that. But I'm over the moon with this. I still have to put a fire pole in there. I gotta take measurements. But I mean, other than that, it's just like little things I want to do. But I have to figure out how to do the lighting on the inside because I really want to illuminate it. But I also want to do one of the floors. I want to do as black lights to accent the ECTO-Glow figures. I think that would be kind of fun to do. I just have to figure out how to do that. It's a work in progress. Now, with the gunners, this is the basic gunner seat that came with it, and I think I'm going to replace this with one that I was looking at on Ecto Gear's Patreon page. This is a replacement, so I can 3D print this whole thing, and I'm probably going to work on that sometime this week. It shouldn't take me long at all to do that. Maybe for me to get the translucent red filament to do the particle stream. But other than that, man, it's I'm digging the firehouse. It really came out great. I mean, and just to give anyone who is tuning in late, and if you're curious about the comparison of the size doesn't matter. What? Now I know Allison and I know Kenzo, I've done Stream for the Cure before. I'm thinking of this year of doing a lot of 3D printing items as prizes. Like maybe some lightsabers, maybe some Marvel props. I'm gonna try and play around with some stuff to really do something different this year for prizes. So for the firehouse, this is the Kenner original firehouse, obviously, and look how much bigger this one is. And there's a length size. I mean, this is massive. I had even considered just keeping this on the floor, but I'm like, no, I want to keep it on the shelf as a nice little display piece so people can check it out. But yeah, it's insane. Definitely insane for sure. Now, I think I'm going to start wrapping things up right now because I'm getting more and more stuffed up. I need to take some sinus meds. And I think we're going to hold off the ECTO-Glow figures till another stream. We'll do a special stream just for them. Maybe something that will accent the glow in the darkness for this. I do have, at least I'm trying to get my hands on a ECTO-Glow Ecto 1 to go with the ECTO-Glow figures because why not? That's always something. But I'm also going to be starting to plan and figure things out for Stream for the Cure. But I want to thank everyone who's popped through the chat today. We had Hey Archer, we had Vern from Oakhurst Studios, we had Tony, we had Master Kykilius, we had Rogue Demon Collects, we had Kenzo, of course, popping through the stream, Allison, the Retro Troy Princess. Guys, if you love coloring, you love chill streams, but you also love vintage goodness, go ahead and check out Retro Toy Princess on YouTube. Allison, she's one of the coolest people you'll find around. And if you guys love Motu, if you love Mythics, If you love taking a figure and taking it to a new level, go ahead and check out Kenzo's Creations on YouTube. And of course, also please check out this man right here every Thursday night and also every morning when he does his Daily Planet editions. So go ahead and check out Hey Archer, Nerd Affiliated, every every Thursday night at 8:15-ish p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and check him out. Those are my amazing YouTube friends. So please go ahead and check them out. They have amazing content. I'm not just saying that. Kenzo does amazing paints and he takes figures to a whole new level. Allison, her point of view on things, her knowledge of Motu and everything retro, she does very chill coloring streams. Whether you're, Care Bears, Motu, hell, last year for Stream for the Cure, she jumped on with me and Dre, and we had a very chill session of just us coloring Back to the Future, which was hella awesome. I was very fun, and I still have my coloring pencils, by the way. I still have them, and that was just a very cool time. There he goes. If you love vintage toy-based coloring books, toy lines, and female action figure retrospectives, and not being a POS, then you might like her channel. You definitely will. We got Kenzo timing in. Thank you. Saying thank you. You working tonight too, Archer? Because Tony is working. Otherwise, he would have hopped on. But guys, I'm going to wrap things up because at 10:15 p.m. tonight, go ahead and check out Generation X-Wing podcast. I believe they're going to be reviewing some classic real Ghostbuster episodes. So go ahead and check out Jamie Pale Rider, Hose Nose, and the rest of the crew at the Generation X-Wing podcast. But guys, please follow Dave's Dimension on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Hit that bell. Hit that notifications. Stay tuned. Have those alerts set for more information about Stream for the Cure. Stream for the Cure is going to take a little different shape this year, but I am still looking for people who want to collaborate and co-host the stream with me. I'm not sure if it's going to be 8, 10, or 12 hours. We're still trying to figure out the particulars of that. But right now, I am aiming to do mystery box prizes where you will get, could be a Star Wars prop, could be a Marvel prop, could be a DC prop. Who knows? Maybe it might be wrestling. Maybe you're going to find yourself with a 3D printed wrestling ring. Or maybe some steel chairs or something. Who knows? So go ahead and check that out, guys. If you like enthusiasm, Motu, 3D printed amazingness, and the sexiest mattress salesman this side of the Rockies, go check out Kenzo's Creations. Indeed. Indeed. And guys, also, another friend of the channel, who I met these amazing people through, Ostradamus Toys. Please check out the clubhouse every Saturday night around 10:15, 10:30-ish p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and look up Ostradamus Toys and go ahead and check them out. The clubhouse is an amazing non-stop party that goes pretty much from 10:30 at night Eastern time all the way till about maybe 2 or 3 in the morning or longer. So go ahead and check them out. I had to show up for a chunk of time again if we can make the schedules line up. There you go. There you go. But guys, until next time, you know what I'm going to say. This is Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. Your channel for tech, toys, and talk. And, of course, the home for Stream for the Cure 2026. So until next time, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Keep on busting. And I'm always going to catch you on the flip side. Later, guys.
Today's dimension so wild, where chaos rules and sanity's exiled. Tech toys and gadgets fill the air. Superheroes talk without a care. In this realm of wires and might, late night sessions feel so right.